1228. Sense of Congress on Enrichment of Uranium by Iran. Subtitle D. Matters relating to Russia. Sector 1231. Extension of limitation on military cooperation between the United States and the Russian Federation. Sector 1232. Extension of Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. Sector 1233. Extension of authority for training for Eastern European national security forces in the course of multilateral exercises. Sector 1234. Prohibition on availability of funds relating to sovereignty of the Russian Federation over Crimea. Sector 1235. Report on Russian influence operations and campaigns targeting military alliances and partnerships of which the United States is a member. Subtitle E. Matters relating to the Indo-Pacific region. Sector 1241. Extension and modification of Indo-Pacific Maritime Security Initiative. Sector 1242. Extension and modification of Pacific Deterrence Initiative. Sector 1243. Modification of Annual Report on Military and Security Developments involving the People's Republic of China. Sector 1244. Extension of authority to transfer funds for BNHOA dioxin cleanup. Sector 1245. Cooperative program with Vietnam to account for Vietnamese personnel missing in action. Sector 1246. Sense of Congress on Taiwan Defense Relations. Sector 1247. Statement of Policy on Taiwan. Sector 1248. Annual Report on Taiwan Asymmetric Capabilities and Intelligence Support. Sector 1249. Feasibility Briefing on Cooperation between the National Guard and Taiwan. Sector 1250. Feasibility Report on Establishing Military-to-Military Crisis Communications Capabilities. Sector 1251. Comparative Analyses and Reports on Efforts by the United States and the People's Republic of China to advance critical modernization technology with respect to military applications. Sector 1252. Sense of Congress on Defense Alliances and Partnerships in the Indo-Pacific region. Title 13 Other Matters relating to Foreign Nations. Subtitle A. Matters relating to Europe and NATO. Sector 1301. Sense of Congress on North Atlantic Treaty Organization allies and partners. Sector 1302. Report on Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict. Sector 1303. Report on the state of United States military investment in Europe, including the European Deterrence Initiative. Subtitle B. United States-Greece Defense and Interparliamentary Partnership Act of 2021. Seconds 1311. Sense of Congress. Sector 1312. Funding for the European Recapitalization Incentive Programme. Sector 1313. Sense of Congress on Loan Program. Sector 1314. Sense of Congress on Transfer of F-35 Joint Strike Fighter Aircraft to Greece. Sector 1315. IMET Cooperation with Greece. Sector 1316. Cyprus, Greece, Israel, and the United States 3+1 Interparliamentary Group. Sector 1317. Appropriate Congressional Committees. Subtitle C. Security Cooperation and Assistance. Sector 1321. Clarification of requirements for contributions by participants in the American, British, Canadian, and Australian Armies Program. Sector 1322. Foreign Area Officer Assessment and Review. Sector 1323. Study on certain security cooperation programs. Sector 1324. Notification relating to overseas humanitarian, disaster, and civic aid funds obligated in support of Operation Allies Welcome. Subtitle D. Other Matters. Sector 1331. Extension and modification of authority for certain payments to redress injury and loss. Sector 1332. Secretary of Defense Strategic Competition Initiative. Sector 1333. Extension and modification of Department of Defense support for stabilization activities in national security interest of the United States. Sector 1334. Pilot program to support the implementation of the Women, Peace, and Security Act of 2017. Sector 1335. Annual Report on Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Censors. Sector 1336. Security Assistance in Northern Triangle Countries. Sector 1337. Report on Human Rights in Colombia. Sector 1338. Report on efforts by the People's Republic of China to expand its presence and influence in Latin America and the Caribbean. Sector 1339. Extension of prohibition on in-flight refueling to non-United States aircraft that engage in hostilities in the ongoing civil war in Yemen. Sector 1340. Statement of Policy and Report on Yemen. Sector 1341. Limitation on support to military forces of the Kingdom of Morocco for multilateral exercises. Title 14 Other Authorizations. Subtitle A Military Programs. Sector 1401. Working Capital Funds. Sector 1402. Chemical Agents and Munitions Destruction, Defense. Sector 1403. Drug Interdiction and Counter-Drug Activities, Defense-wide. Sector 1404. Defense Inspector General. Sector 1405. Defense Health Program. Subtitle B Other Matters. Sector 1411. Acquisition of strategic and critical materials from the national technology and industrial base. Sector 1412. Authorization to loan materials in National Defense Stockpile. Sector 1413. Authority for transfer of funds to Joint Department of Defense Department of Veterans Affairs Medical Facility Demonstration Fund for Captain James A. Lovell Healthcare Center, Illinois. Sector 1414. Authorization of appropriations for Armed Forces Retirement Home. Title 15 Cyberspace-related matters. Subtitle A Matters related to cyber operations and cyber forces. Sector 1501. Development of taxonomy of cyber capabilities. Sector 1502. Extension of sunset for pilot program on Regional Cybersecurity Training Center for the Army National Guard. Sector 1503. Modification of the Principal Cyber Advisor. Sector 1504. Evaluation of Department of Defense Cyber Governance. Sector 1505. Operational technology and mission-relevant terrain in cyberspace. Sector 1506. Matters concerning cyber personnel requirements. Sec. 1507. Assignment of certain budget control responsibilities to Commander of United States Cyber Command. Sector 1508. Coordination between United States Cyber Command and private sector. Sector 1509. Assessment of cyber posture and operational assumptions and development of targeting strategies and supporting capabilities. Sector 1510. Assessing capabilities to counter adversary use of ransomware, capabilities, and infrastructure. Sector 1511. Comparative analysis of cybersecurity capabilities. Sector 1512. Eligibility of owners and operators of critical infrastructure to receive certain Department of Defense support and services. Sector 1513. Report on potential Department of Defense support and assistance for increasing the awareness of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency of cyber threats and vulnerabilities affecting critical infrastructure. Subtitle B Matters related to Department of Defense Cybersecurity and Information Technology. Sector 1521. Enterprise-wide procurement of cyber data products and services. Sector 1522. Legacy information technologies and systems accountability. Sector 1523. Update relating to responsibilities of Chief Information Officer. Sector 1524. Protective Domain Name System within the Department of Defense. Sector 1525. Cybersecurity of Weapon Systems. Sector 1526. Assessment of Controlled Unclassified Information Program. Sector 1527. Cyber Data Management. Sector 1500